Hello. We're going to Malikah's well now. Part of Shadowbringers. It's like the halfway point of the expansion. We're going underground and stuff. When I ran this, I accidentally queued as DPS the first time I was recording. So let's take a look at this pool and then I'll show briefly what it can look like if you're running it as DPS. So per usual, I've noticed I gotta make sure I'm watching my mini-map when I'm running with the NPCs, because if there's a little dude going back with them, back here, there's an enemy back here, you see? The NPCs are just gonna stay right there. And so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna pull this group with me and then go all the way back to where they are, because they're not gonna come over here if there's an enemy over there. They end up taking care of the enemy pretty quickly, but still, it was kind of like, you use okay. I'm sure. Here, this is I queued as DPS on accident, but here I pulled the first one, and then Thancred is the tank here, grabs it from me. I'm like, all right, dude, and then I go ahead of him. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next pull while still doing some attacks. I try to pull it back. And he... Oh, thanks, Thancred. Yeah, I'm fine. He just pull it, but then, yeah, we end up just parking it here. And so, if there was anything else, you wouldn't really... You'd have to go search for it yourself, so that's why I ran like that. And I was like, okay, there's nothing else, so then I go back. So, it's not the most efficient way to do this with the NPCs, but it's kind of like if you're nervous or you want to take your time with the thing for whatever reason, it's, you know, running with the NPCs is cool, because you can go at your own pace if it's a slower pace and no one's going to yell at you about it. But if you want to go at a faster pace, you definitely have to figure out how to play with the NPCs. Like, you gotta work with what you got here. And so I do prefer going at a faster pace. And so I'm like, okay, I'm always gonna have to go pull something back to them because they're not gonna move that much. But this is a fine corner because with these big AoEs we still have a lot of space to dodge things. And so I was fine just parking it right here. Like, you know, we could bring it all the way up here where there is a lot more space there, but I was like, I'm not even going to bother trying to move the NPCs now. If you're running with regular people, I would say it's, you know, just pull regular, pull the first pack into the second one. But with NPCs, you do have to kind of look backwards a lot. And yeah, just dodge these big AoEs here. It does tend to be a bit faster to run with regular players. You have a higher chance of just blasting through things, but again, if that's not your style, then for sure just running with NPCs. It's usually about 20, 25, 30 minute runs, and you know you'll be able to clear with them. If you run into issues with people kind of rage quitting, or you just don't have the energy to deal with the randomness of playing with random people, then yeah, I would suggest going with NPCs. And I've learned a lot about tanking while running with NPCs, like figuring out how to separate my mitigation, really watching where my party members are, using my protection stuff for them because sometimes they really do stand on things. Alice, right there. See that? She just stands and stuff. Yeah, that little like knocking noise sounds like a little echo. That's just my shield blocking stuff. See, I blocked a bunch of stuff. Alright. Like I said in the other videos, like, I think when they made these Shadowbringer dungeons, because this was the first time they added the MSQ NPCs to go with you, they probably designed the dungeons in a way where the pools aren't so overwhelming, so that you can still do somewhat bigger pools, but not like have it all get out of control and stuff. Okay, so for this boss, I turned the boss around per usual. First we got Stone Flail, Tank Buster. Alright, and now we're gonna get a bunch of AoEs all over the place. So if you're running around a bunch, make sure you're running out of those. And if you're standing still, also make sure you're not standing in one. Or stand in them. Okay, we're stacking. As you can see, the NPCs just stay right in the center, just stack, so go back there with them. Okay, and we got AoEs again. Now, this thing that I dropped is tethered to the boss, and the boss is going to do right round. And this is going to be a melee, like, circle AoE, basically. Okay, and see, I got hit with it, and I got knocked back. So, consider it a circle AoE in the boss's hitbox. Okay, and then immediately after that, we got this proximity marker, so you want to run away from this, so you don't take as much damage. The NPCs just stand there, and it's probably because immediately after that we've got this donut AoE, okay, which means you want to be in the center, but you also dodge all these other little ones. So it's kind of quick movement, but it happens a few times, so we'll see it again. Okay, got two little ads here, so I'm picking them up so that they don't attack other people, and then I'm just going to use my AoE stuff on all of it. Tank Buster. Okay, random AoEs, rocks everywhere. Okay, another stack marker. See, they just run to the center. They don't, like, go where the boss is or anything. Okay. So this thing, again, is tethered to the boss right around. It's going to be the circle AoE around the boss, and it'll do a knockback. So just run far away. Okay, and then we got the proximity marker. They are going to get hit with some damage, but they've positioned themselves so that they can still just be in here. Even though Alice kind of moves out for some reason. Why, Alice? Look at this. Why? There wasn't anything else to dodge. Okay, there was. Never mind. She was dodging it, but she dodged it. Oh my god. Okay, my bad for saying there was nothing to dodge, but like, dude, you didn't have to stand like in the donut thingy. You see what I'm saying? This is what you gotta work with. You gotta figure out how to work with them. Okay, so she was dodging this, which is fine, but instead of just standing here or going over here, she goes to stand over here. Okay, but everyone else is like inside. Alright. Leave the healing to me. Okay. Is she healing herself? No, she just does damage. Okay. Ads. Tank Buster. Look at this, she's standing so close to me. Okay, circle AoE things everywhere, just watch out. Stack marker. We're running to the center because that's where everyone else is. Ooh, okay, so I don't think I made it into that. Looks like they were fine, honestly. But it's better to actually stack together because sometimes those hit super hard. Okay. Oh, so I didn't call it out, but I saw that right after it smashes its tail. Oh! Oh, dang! This thing was in its grabby little tail. Wow, okay. And then it spins, and then now it's holding it again. Okay. Alright. Okay, so proximity marker, so get away from it. Okay, go inside the donut, dodge the AoE things. This time she just stood in it. Okay. She stood in the AoE that time. Man, you really gotta watch out for her if you're running this as healer. Okay, cards again. Tank Buster. Flash these AoEs. Nice, nice, nice. Good job. What I like about playing video games is I can express myself like this. Like, see when I'm jumping around? Like, that's how I feel inside. But what I output is just this monotone, like, voice, usually. And so I like playing video games to express the joy I feel for living that my regular voice and demeanor does not typically show. Anyway, so this is what I'm talking about with, like, how they designed the dungeons to be paced out like this. Like, well, you can only pull one pack here before, like, this door opens. And so it can feel a little bit slower for people who have more experience running the dungeons and want to go a bit faster. Oh, that's self-destruct. You gotta get out of that. Probably does a lot of damage. But it bodes well for those who are still, you know, learning how to play the game and stuff. The next dungeon is definitely one for people who like to go big. So if you've felt the pacing of these Shadowbringer dungeons being a little too slow, the next one will be for you. Alright, so I'm pulling all these things. Again, I'm keeping track of my mini-map, okay? Notice that there's one here. It's also tricky when you've got these inclines, okay? Because sometimes that also means that the NPCs can't see the ads, or the ads can get, or whatever. So just different layers of terrain and stuff can just complicate a lot of, like, the AI movement. So you gotta keep an eye on that. Also, these things are huge, okay? So when you gather all of them, you kind of want to position it in a way where you can dodge the AoEs, but also still kind of see your character, see what you're doing. They're getting a lot of damage here. So I'm trying to just pull them together. Got AoEs in the center. They drop underneath different people. Like, it looks like it's dropping underneath me a lot. Okay, watch out for these line AoEs. Alice, hey! She just stands and things. Oh, this one's exploding. Really watch out for those. Sometimes they're like extremely deadly. They can just one-shot you. Sometimes they just do like a lot of damage. Okay, you can heal through that, but some of them just like KO. Like how like in a few of the earlier dungeons, there were those bees that could just like knock you out with their final sting. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, treasure here if you want it. There's a lot of jumping down through things, and I'm always kind of like, we don't get hurt here. But then in the outside world, did you hear them yelling? In the outside world, sometimes you fall off a thing and then you go all the way down to 1 health. But then I just fell down like a bunch of stories right here and I'm fine. The inconsistencies, you guys. Okay, this boss is adorable. Look at it, he's got like a bucket on his head. He's got buckets for arms. Okay. Are they called buckets? Wooden buckets? Water buckets? A face? Tank buster? Oh, smacked me with the bucket. Okay. Ooh. So when he walks to the center, it looks like it's gonna be this thing. Let's get out of that. Okay. Immediately after, there are these 4 circles here. So you can stand, like you can still stand out here, and like you can walk through the center of the circle, but you want to move towards the inside because this next mechanic. Okay, so the circle AoEs on the outside blow up, right? And when you got these knockback markers, so you can use arm's length or sure cast so you don't get knocked back. Okay, so the NPCs got knocked back, and I'm still here because I used my knockback prevention. So let's see that again. So you dodge out of this, and then he'll do the attack. And then 4 things show up. You run to the center, hit your knockback prevention, or just ride the knockback in between the circles, like the NPCs did. Okay. Now this next one, this is similar to one of the previous dungeons where that one boss was just smashing things in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction. So Swift Spill, you want to stand behind him, and then he's going to rotate clockwise because the arrows are going this way. Okay, so he's going to go like this. So you want to follow the movement. And I know his animation, he was like spinning a little bit, you know, and that might be confusing. But you want to look for the actual mechanic markers. Oh, he's got buckets for his feet too. Jeez. Okay, you want to look at the actual mechanic markers, okay, to see the direction. His body rotated the other way, which can be confusing, but you want to look at these circling arrows here. Okay, see, so now he's turning. So you just want to turn with him. Always stand behind him. It's kind of similar to if you did the Alliance raid for Stormblood. One of the bosses does a move like this too. Okay, Tank Buster. The Math Bot does the Dispose move where you have to stand behind him and rotate. Another Tank Buster. Dude, the buckets are just shin guards. I can see his feet. This is what I'm talking about. Character design. Oh, he looks so... This is my moment, you guys. Okay, dodge out of this. Okay, now I use my gap closer, so if you have that, cool. If not, just like run as fast as you can. Or like, because the thing was like on where I was at, if you don't have a gap closer to get in there real quick, then just make sure you stand out of here so you don't get hit with this explosion. And then you have time to run in if you wanna. Okay, so here I'm positioning myself so I'm between the circles, and then I don't have my knockback thing, but when I got knocked back here, I don't have my knockback prevention because I used it earlier. I didn't get hit with the water thing because I positioned myself between the circles. Okay, and then I go up to him with this mechanic. So stand behind him and just follow the rotation. I think I show what it's like if you get hit. I happened to dodge that. Man, that was so clutch, but not what I wanted to do. I wanted to show how much damage you can get. But anyway, there is a way to finesse it and look cool and dodge it if you wanna. It's kind of unnecessary, but okay, Tank Buster. Another Tank Buster. Alright, big AoE, get out of that. Oh, I'm standing in it. Let's see how much damage we take. Okay. You take 6,000 something. So let's see, Alice has 18, so, you know, I would bring her down to, so it would take a third of her health, and then you get a vulnerability up. Okay. And then now let's see what happens if you get hit with the water. Alright, I took like 7,000, and I got another vuln stack. I might have taken a little bit more just because of my vuln stack though, so, okay, but I also got knocked up, okay, like, in the air. And then I get knocked back into the thing. Okay, now this mechanic, let's see. If you don't stand in the back and you get hit with it, okay, looks like it's a knockback, you get, 9,500. And another vuln stack. Okay, so at this point, what was the first one? 6, and then 7k, and then like 9k. I'm totally guesstimating, rounding up. Okay, so if you add all these together, it's probably gonna kill you if you're just a regular, like a healer or DPS. If you get hit with all these things, I'm a tank, so I have a lot of health, but you know. So yeah, that can all stack up. Guesstimating the numbers because I had all these vuln stacks. Alright, Tank Buster. That hit extra because I got the vuln stacks. Did it say? Oh, even Alice was helping cure me. And my health's pretty low. Alright. He does that. Oh yeah, okay. Alpha heals me for a bit. Alice heals me for a bit. Oh, she heals me twice. I heal myself too. Okay, Tank Buster. And yeah. And then an auto attack. Yeah, so I take some hits because of my 3 stacks, okay? So this is why you don't want get hit with all the mechanics, because then it's a lot easier to die. And your healers and other people will have to really put some work in to heal you up. Also, if you're like not the tank, sometimes the healer might not notice if you're dying to things, because they're gonna focus on the tank. But anyway, alright. So this next pool is just the 4 of these ads here. They got big circle AoEs though. Oh, and Ren is like getting hit with stuff. She can get out. Okay. So, see, we got this big space to work with, and so I'm gonna try to pull them so that we have more space, since these AoEs are so big, so we have more space to dodge in whatever direction. treasure coffer if you want it. Okay, so this like mound of rocks, they have names. So these two, you can't pull them anywhere, and so you gotta just target them and try to take them down. I usually, if you run with like Duty Finder, most people will target this one first, but because the NPCs do what they want, I'm kind of trying to figure out which one they're going for. Okay, and I noticed this one was losing health faster than the other one, and so I go to this one. It's better to all focus on the same one so that you can take it down, because it's doing a cast called Rebuild, and so, well, both of them are. If that cast goes off, then they will turn into an ad. And so we took care of that one, and over here it's gonna turn into an ad. We're still, it still takes the, like, it's continuous health from when it was immobile. But yeah, we go through that again. This time we have 3 of them. I tried to do my thing, he doesn't hit any of them, so just target 2. They're too far away. I hit this one and this one just to make sure that they're on me. The red stuff is on me. So if they do rebuild, then they'll come to me first. So yeah, I noticed that they were taking care of the middle one first, and so I just went to the middle one by looking at the HP. And by them, I mean the NPCs. I was seeing what they were doing. I'm getting like random groups of real people. Usually they go from the left to right. So this one, then this one, then this one. If you're facing up, if you're running up, they go with this and that one and that one. Okay. But NPCs really do it different. You know what? Maybe it's because it's made by Japanese developers and they read from right to left, and that's why the NPCs are going right to left. That makes sense. Okay, treasure if you want it. That makes sense. And I play in NA, so yeah. Alright, final boss. Okay, this unquestioned acceptance. Is that where we are? Or is that... oh yeah, that's where we are. Okay, so I turn the boss away, and it does some auto attacks with the wings and whatever, it's fine. Ooh, that was a raid wide. Intestinal crank. Okay, so you want to mitigate for that if you've got reprisal and stuff. Heretic's Fork. Okay, so we've got this like orb thingy, okay, triangle, and it's on all the sides. Now, I stood at the corner, and then I decided to run to Alice because I was like, oh, maybe she knows what she's doing. No, don't do what Alice did. I was in the right place, okay? You want to stand at the corners of them. Wait, I skipped ahead. My bad. You want to stand at the corner because the cardinal positions are going to be what explodes. So it's going to go like this. So there's going to be line AoEs out on the cardinals, if you're familiar with cardinals. So north, east, south, and west are going to get hit with line AoEs. So it's like a T shape, okay, like this. And so to dodge that, you want to stand here. So basically at the corners of these things, are the safe spots. I second guessed myself because I was like, maybe the AI knows, but as we've seen, LSA really just stands in the middle of stuff all the time, so we get hit with stuff. That's fine, whatever. Now I know. But Alphanol and Rain, we're both kind of off to the side. Okay, this next one, Breaking Wheel. This is a, we got a donut here. So we go inside. Okay, see? It's considered a donut just because everything out here is getting blown up. Rain. Ren. Alphana. Crystal Nail. Okay, we got circle AoEs that have these nails here. Okay, Breaking Wheel. This is the inside. Okay. Censure. Okay, so there are these little animations to these wheels here. So that means the wheels are going to do stuff. Okay, so we got this first wheel doing Breaking Wheel, which is what we saw with the boss. We run inside. Okay. And you'll see here in the here, this is the first one doing the thing, and then these are the other nails on the side, or off over there. Okay, so this next one is popping up, and okay, they're not like hella in order or anything, but here's this one. Okay, but we need to stay in this first one until it blows up, so we're in the safe spot. Because everything out here is going to get hit. So wait here, it blows up, then you go into the next one. I'm standing out here to show what can happen if you don't stand in it. Okay, you get 7,000 and then a bone stack. Okay, so like I said, if you're anybody else that's not a tank, if you miss too many of the mechanics, you can get a lot of damage. Okay, so we go in order of the ads nails, and then we go into the boss one. I like that his carbuncle is white. Okay, intestinal crank, that's the raid wide. Another raid wide. Another raid wide. Crystal nail, alright, those ads are gonna come out now. Okay, so the ads fall down, but they don't do anything for the first part, so we gotta just deal with this mechanic. Remember, it's gonna be like a T shape. Okay, so you want to stand in the corners. This time Alice A is in the corner. So, corners. Okay, see the T shape? Corners are safe. But like move out of the corner, you know, like so the little ball that was there, just make sure you're away from it just a little bit, and then you're good. Okay, censure is the one that activates these nail things. See these little animations on it? Okay, so now, ooh. So the first one, the one in the back, that one's doing the thing, so we gotta stand at the corner of it. Okay, don't get confused, it's fine. This one showed up, but we just wait for the first one to go off. Okay, it goes off. Now stand on the outside of the ball of a corner of this thing. Okay, now the next one is this one, so we'll move over here. Okay, like just moving over there was fine enough too. And then now we do the one on the east side. Stand in the corner. okay. And then for this boss, I stood there just to see, but yeah, it looks like I got hit twice. I hit there. Oh, it must be because I'm like continuously standing in it. Maybe. So I don't think I got hit with this one. Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like it might be a continuous hit. So you really don't want to stand in that. Okay, raid wide. Another raid wide. Another raid wide. Okay, nice. It wouldn't just repeat the mechanics with that crystal nail thing, so the ads would come out and things like that, but cool. We finished. This one's not my favorite, because it feels like they were really pacing it out, and so I didn't feel super challenged by it. Not to say if you felt challenged by it that, you know, you're not a good player, and it's just, I've played a lot of them, and so I feel like some of the other, like, even though the last dungeon, the Katana Gravel, had a few more interesting mechanics, this dungeon I felt like was more, we're in the middle of the expansion, this take it easy kind of situation. Like, try out different jobs or something like that. Yeah. The next one, however, is gonna be chaotic. So that will be very fun. Yeah, so the pacing in this one is a bit slower, and so it might be a good time to try out bigger pools if it's something you haven't tried before. With the NPCs, they seem to do pretty well with the bigger pools in this dungeon. The pools, like, the pack sizes were pretty, like, reasonable. So, yeah. Alright. Have fun. Goodbye.